Have you ever gotten lost? Or injured when no one is around? Then I'm the guy who comes along with a ranger to help assess the damage and treat it. I have worked at the Pitfield Park for 5 years now. My girlfriend, Angela, is a park ranger that I work with. We have helped a lot of people who have gotten lost in the park. We have even seen things most would be too afraid to see. It was a cold December afternoon. I was sitting in my medical office working on medical supply orders, but I was interrupted by my radio. Max. Come in, Max. It was Angela. Hey babe, what's up? Max, we have an Amber. Amber is in missing kid. Copy that, swing by. I'll have my gear ready when you get here. On my way. I packed my medical supplies and put on my boots, face mask, coat, gloves, and a firearm, shotgun. I grabbed the radio and locked my office and opened the door. White glittering snow all around. Good thing I keep my sunglasses in my coat pocket. Angela pulled up and I hopped on the gator. She flew down the road and made it to the missing kids campsite. The parents were there, mother was in tears and the dad was pacing. Angela and I made our way to the couple. Thank God. Please, you have to save my baby girl. The mother was in distress and the father was as well. Hon, please. I'm Donovan, this is my wife Jocelyn. Daughter, Vivian went missing about an hour ago. Donovan was calm but visibly shaken. I'm Angela, the park ranger for PFP. This is the park medic, Max. Angela greeted with a half smile, but got serious quickly. Where did you see Vivian last? Angela asked, then looked to me to ask my standard medical questions. She said she was going to the field. She put on her purple gloves and scarf before heading out. I let her go because she is old enough to find her way back. You let our daughter wander off. She's only 9 years old. Jocelyn interrupted. Hun. I went to look for her, but she was nowhere to be seen. I called you guys after I couldn't find her. He finished, looking to his wife. Does Vivian have any medical conditions that we need to be aware of? Is she diabetic, a hemophiliac, or have an impairments? I asked, slowly to allow the question to sink in due to some people reporting a missing person and the person can't hear us because they are deaf or can't understand us. Well, she has asthma and she is diabetic. The mother responded. When was the last time she used her insulin? I asked while writing the info on my notebook. That would have been at least 3 hours ago, but she carries a small pack with her meds in it. The dad responded. We will find Vivian, remain in the camp. We will be back soon. Angela stated, turned to me and walked to the gator. Max, right? I thought I should tell you about something important. Vivian is afraid of the dark. If it gets dark, she will run away. Donovan told me this as he gave me a photograph. We got in the gator and drove to the edge of the field. The field is about 10 miles of caves, huge rocks, evergreens, and all sorts of wildlife. As we drove I looked at the photo Polaroid. It was dark but I could make out someone in the photo. It was short, skinny legs, long arms, and it looked hunched over. I put the photo in my notebook as we arrived to the parking lot. Okay, let's find Vivian. Angela smiled and began to unload. Angela, take a look at this. I held my notebook open to the page the photo was on. Angela looked at it, but a puzzled look fell on her face. What am I looking at, Max? What is that? She looked at me with a worried look on her face. Do you think it's? It can't be the dwarf. No way. The dwarf is a town myth. Legend has it that the dwarf lures people in by mimicking the voices of loved ones or of cries for help. It is known to eat children and even unsuspecting hikers. We looked at each other and I kissed Angela on the cheek and grabbed my bag and loaded my shotgun. Angela followed close behind. Each step into the field felt as though peace took over the field. You know that feeling of just calm, that is what was happening. We, however, were the opposite. It's recommended to stay calm and collected, but the feeling of peace was not appropriate as there are bears and wolves out here. One case I had, a man was mauled by a bear. I had to do the work of telling the family. It still haunts me to this day. The sound the mother made chilled me to the soul. We scouted about 3 miles, calling for Vivian. The sky was getting darker, The peace that we once felt began to turn to panic. The need to find her increased. Vivian. Nothing. Angela spoke with defeat. We started at 1:38, it was 4:33 when we made 3 miles. Angela, we'll find her. She couldn't have gone the 10 miles. I'll call for backup, stay here and catch your breath. I rested my hand on her shoulder as she sat down in the snow. Looking around. I dialed into the ranger station on the radio. Station, this is Sutton. We are in the field searching for a Vivian Hash. Static. Station, do you copy? Buzzing. I dialed to one of the ranger's radios. Hey Hash, do you copy? Buzzing. Can anyone hear me? Buzzing. Radio signal was a no good. I know it was stupid to go out there without backup, but even then you can radio for support. I walked to Angela, who was now standing. Well? Angela asked with a smile on her chubby cheeks. No luck. We are on our own till we get signal. As I said this, her smile faded away and anger took over. We have 3 options. Keep looking, turn back and wait till morning, or stay the night. She looked to me with a fearful look in her eyes. If we turn back, we will have to start all over. If we keep looking, we will frighten her, as she is afraid of the dark. We will have to stay the night. I answered, as I looked around some more when suddenly I noticed something. I squinted and noticed something purple and raced towards it. Angela, startled, followed after me. I made it to the object and lo and behold. A purple glove with footprints around the area. I had hope build up inside me as I marked the location on the map. Angela smiled and danced with joy as she took photos. It'll be dark in an hour, let's get to a spot and make camp. Angela responded after taking the last photo. Right, let's follow the footprints and branch off when we find a place to camp. I began to follow the footprints. We eventually found a place to settle. It was under an evergreen tree. We pulled snow around the tree and ate our dinner. A protein bar and water, yum. Time went by as we sat down and cuddled. Then we heard something from our left. It sounded like a whimper. Angela cocked the gun and went out. I followed close behind. Vivian? If that's you, follow my voice. Crack of tree branch. Angela, eyes up. I said as I shined the flashlight around. The glow of the lamp and flashlight lit the snow up. Scream. Angela bolted to the area the scream came from, leaving me alone. I then felt a presence from behind me. I whipped around and saw the dwarf. Its teeth bared and dripped with what I could make out as blood. I aimed my shotgun at the dwarf. It smiled and then began to chuckle as it threw something on the ground. I looked down and saw what it was. A child-sized hand. My heart sank. As it sank, I shot the dwarf, making it howl in pain. It then charged at me and began to claw and bite me. I could feel the teeth dig into my flesh as I aimed the shotgun at the monster and pulled the trigger. It jumped back and hissed, then fled, leaving me in a puddle of my own blood. Thank goodness I kept a mini first aid kit on hand and began to repair myself. I felt so weak, I could barely see it even tie the knot for the tourniquet. I then heard a scream off in the distance. I slowly stumbled my way to the cry and fell a few times, but got back up. I shined the light on Angela with the dwarf tearing her clothing off. I snuck to an angle and yelled, Angela, hands down. She turned to me with fear in her eyes and did so. I then shot the dwarf at point blank range, blowing its head off, and a spray of blood followed. Angela was covered in blood but okay. I helped her up and got her back to the camp before collapsing. We were found in the morning. Angela was shaken and covered in claw marks along with hypothermia. I was in bad shape, I had bite marks all over and claw marks too. We found Vivian. It wasn't pretty. The police said it was a wolf attack, but others agreed it was the dwarf. We were given paid leave, but I still got yelled at by the family. I suffered from a seizure the day before my release and nearly died, but here I am. After the hospital time, I popped the question to Angela, the love of my life. She said yes.